Feel like my lips a little ash. Hold on. Okay, we good. Oh God, I don't even know how to title this. My ex, the guy who my ex was cheated on me with, but wasn't really even really cheating, but it was kind of cheating. Apparently the guy he was with wants me. I don't know how to. I think y'all get what I'm saying. So my last video I uploaded, it was about me re-explaining what had just happened to one of my coworkers slash friends, because she's really one of the only people who know about this whole story. I told you guys in that last video that if you want me to like explain the story so you guys can understand like what's happening, let me know in the comments, and sure enough you guys did, so this is what I'm doing. I'm not gonna tell like the whole story, because then it's just 20 different parts, but I will make separate videos about each little part depending on how I feel as life goes on. But for now I'm just gonna give you guys the short simple version, you know, so you know, who wants to sit here for 2 hours listening to me talk? Anywho, so a quick rundown is that me and my ex was together for like 3 years, or 2, 3. I was dealing with each other for 3 years, meaning on and off for like 3 years. So we met in high school and we officially ended back in like, I don't even remember when this was. Like, I brainwashed myself so hard to suppress bad memories that I can't even really remember specific times. But just know it was sometime during the summer, I believe, when we stopped, you know, when we officially ended. Now, what caused us to, like, end was what the fuck I'm finna tell y'all. Like, I had my fair share of cheating and stuff like that, but this shit, I was like, I can't. I work at a restaurant. I can't really say the restaurant name because people be watching my videos from that job. I don't care what nobody say, so they be waiting for me to like mention the name of it. So just know I work at a restaurant. If you guys watch me on Snapchat, then you know where I work, but nonetheless, I work at a restaurant. So I was a host for many months because at this restaurant you got to be 21 to serve and bartend, which I guess it makes sense, so whatever. So I was hosting, and really I was one of the only hosts that they could keep because so much stuff happens in this restaurant to where people just want to quit. Like, after like 2 weeks, they just want to quit. But to me, it's easy money. I have a strong mind, so I mean, it was gonna take more than some people trying to cuss me out about tables to make me quit. There was a point where I was really basically the only host that the restaurant had. So in that time, it was cool because I really needed the money. But as time went on and I started handling more bills and stuff like that, then I was like, okay, let's hire some more people so, you know, I can start getting some rest and some days off. One of the people that they hire, I'm not going to say his name. I'm just going to say, I'm going to give him a name. Let's just say his name is Spain. Let's just call him Spain. So this guy named Spain, apparently he's like a transgender. That's how I take it. Like, he came to work as a man, but outside of work, he was like a woman, like wigs, high heels, and stuff like that. And like, I don't have a problem with it. It's just not what I like. So, I mean, I still love my trans people, lesbian, gays, bisexuals, all that. I love everyone equally. It's just dating wise, that's not my cup of tea. So off the bat, I knew that I'm not gonna say I wasn't really gonna like him, but I mean, like I said, people don't last long in a restaurant. So I mean, I'm not gonna try to grow a personal connection with you if like I already know you're gonna quit. Like, what's the point? Which he did quit, but that's neither here nor there. At that time during the summer, me and a group of people that was working there, we would all hang out at this girl's house. And so this one particular night, we went to go hang out at her house. Like, when we made these plans, he was right there. Paris. Let's call him Paris. Let's just call him Paris. Paris was right there when we was making these plans. So he was like, oh, can I come? And so, you know, the girl being really cool and nice, she was like, yeah, sure, you know, whatever. So at the end of the night, we're all at this girl's house. And we're all just, you know, having fun, just talking and, you know, I don't know, just relaxing. After working in a restaurant, when coworkers hang out, what we usually do is just talk shit about, you know, what was going on, whether it was management or whether it was guests or things we had to deal with, you know, things like that. So that's all we was doing. I don't know how, but somehow we ended up on the topic of like exes. And so we're all just in this circle just talking about our exes, and next thing you know, it gets to me. And me being me, I don't mind sharing my story like about what I dealt with my ex, because I mean, I do not want to get emotional, but let's just say that with my ex, I would have died for that. Like him, I would have killed somebody over him. Like, if anybody tried to fuck with him, I was the Harley Quinn to his Joker. Like, nobody gonna mess with him, and I wasn't gonna seriously take action about it. Like, that's how diehard I was for this guy. So I say all that to say, if I felt so strongly about him in that way, to not be with him and to let go was like 10 times as hard of, you know, dealing with. So that's another reason why I was working so hard, because I mean, it was just a way to keep him off my mind and just to have another focus on something else. So I get to my case of, you know, me and my ex, and I was just basically saying that the reason me and my ex aren't together now is because he's on this little app or whatever. Like, if you're a ratchet gator, you know these apps I'm talking about. I'm talking about the Jacks, the Grinders, the all of that. And so my ex was on these apps, and to be honest, it kind of like, I don't know, it makes me feel bad. Like, I don't know, I don't even know how I feel, to be honest. Like, to see that the guy who I'm so madly in love with and want to spend the rest of my life with is on these apps. Mind you, we were broken up when I don't know how to put this story. Okay, how can I put this so y'all don't understand? The reason we initially broke up was because of distance. Like, we went from seeing each other every single day in high school to me graduating. He was a senior in high school. I was a freshman in college. So the distance kind of made us, like, we didn't know how to react to it. So we somehow started just splitting our separate ways. And then next thing you know, I found out that, you know, he's on these little dating apps. This is something we dealt with before, but to see that he was back on it, I was just like, oh wow, so yeah, you really moving on. Let me just tell you guys, before that night happened, okay, there was a time driving home from work, I was just like, okay, let me see if my ex is still on these apps, because at that time we was talking about getting back together. And so I was like, if you are serious about this, then I need to know if you still on these accounts. So I remade an account. I got on him. Nonetheless, he's still on there. And the shit he had in his bio, baby, when I tell you the stuff was so explicit, like, it was along the lines of fucking and things like that. So obviously I was heartbroken, because I was just like, damn, like, I really thought we was gonna, like, make it work this time around, but that's not what happened. So that's basically what I was saying that night about my ex. Like, he's on these apps. I'm describing him. I'm like, you know, he has on his uniform and whatever and whatnot, and for some reason that tricked the guy who, the side bitch, I'm just gonna call him the side bitch, Paris, whatever you, side bitch Paris, same person. That triggered the side bitch to be like, oh my God. And the moment he said, oh my God, for some reason, I just already knew we was like on the same, frequency of, like, ain't no way I'm telling my story. I'm describing and you're sitting there talking about, oh my God. The moment he says that, like, I just slowly started like fading out. Like, I was losing my mind, just slowly but surely. Next thing you know, he says my ex's name. The moment the side bitch said my ex name, I was like, I don't want to really talk about that whole scenario, but just know that I blacked out so hard. Like, I was, my whole body was shaking. My first instinct was to call my ex like 50 billion times. Now you guys may be wondering, why was I caring so much that they were fucking around when I just said that I saw him on the apps and, you know, I really was done. The thing about that is, even though I said I was done when I found him back on those apps, a small little part of me, like this much part of me, still kept hope and faith. Like, you know what? Maybe now just isn't the time. Maybe like in 5 or 4 years or 2 years or whatever, we'll come back around to each other. So that's the mindset I had. Okay, what killed it, like what ended us completely that night, was the side bitch saying, me and your ex was going on dates, and we was going on, what the fuck were they doing? They were going on dates, and see, I suppressed it so much, I gotta remember. Dates, like movie dates, dinner dates, they were fucking around, unprotected, and all this, that, and the fourth. And so, mind you, what killed me was, the time frame that he said that they were doing it. They were fooling around apparently in March. In March, I was at my lowest point ever in life. Like, I couldn't have got any lower in life other than in March. And so I was just like, when I needed you most, you was with some other bitch, like going on movie dates and fucking around and going on dinner dates and stuff like that. And I come to find out all that kind of, it wasn't a lie, but it was kind of a lie. And then also the guy tells me that, you know, my ex was sending him money and stuff like that. And I'm just like, you know, yeah, when I needed you most, you weren't there for me. And you know, I found that kind of fucked up. So my thing is that after hearing all that, I was just kind of over with. Like, it was really nothing else I could say or do to myself to make me still want to keep faith for him. So that night, of course, I cried and I just was totally heartbroken. But I never felt like, I don't know, you know how they say like God sends you signs and stuff? I feel like I was just being blind to so many signs. And then when that night happened, I just felt like, okay, Ron, you have no choice but to accept what's happening. Like, if you still want to act blind to what your ex is doing, then that's it. So, I called my ex like 50 times. I FaceTimed him 80 times, and no joke. And so, he was never answering. So my friends ended up taking my phone away from me, and then I just, I don't know, I blacked out that whole night. I don't even know how I drove home, but nonetheless, damn, just reflecting. That's why I want to talk about the shit, cause now I'm kind of getting sad. But anywho, anywho, damn, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna cry. But nonetheless, that just really broke me down, or whatever, whatever. And you know, of course, I still love him, but I know I could never be back with him, because if we were really meant to like be together, then I'm not gonna say we'll be together, but I wouldn't have went through what I went through, or whatever, whatever. And my thing is that if that was like the soulmate, then it wouldn't, I wouldn't have to deal with all the shit that I was going with. And you know, a lot of people are like, you know, you got to go through some things with the person you're meant to be with, but all those things that I went through were things that was controlled, meaning he put himself on those apps, he put himself on those dates and stuff like that. That wasn't things that just happened out of nowhere, like from the universe to test us. Those were controlled situations. So, you know, I just find bullshit on all that. But nonetheless, I just was kind of hurt knowing that, you know, I'm over here struggling and I'm in the lowest point of my life, and you're doing whatever you're doing, having fun and stuff like that. Like, okay, it's cool, whatever. And yeah, I just felt like the whole get back together thing was kind of a lie. Knowing that while you're telling me that, you're also laying down with this bitch. And then how they met. Oh, guess how they met? They met on the damn app. Like, anywho, so the only thing that made me kind of feel better about that night was the fact that the side bitch was like, your ex always kept talking about his ex. And he was like, he would never tell me, well, he would never tell him who the ex he was always talking about. And apparently, it was me. I mean, shit, I know that for a fact. It was me. I was the ex. So that made me feel better knowing that I was on his mind. But, like, at the same time, why were you wasting your time with these people who truly do not care for you, who truly do not understand you and took the time to dig deep into your mind like the way I did? Like, why are you wasting your time with these people when I was thoroughly invested in you? Like, I don't understand that aspect at all. So I don't know. I'm trying to keep talking, because every time I take a silence, I feel like waterness coming up. I always assume that, you know, good shit revolves to good people, but like, good shit has not been revolving to me, at least relationship wise. And for the longest of time, I always wondered, like, why did all this have to happen to us? But in hindsight, it makes sense. Like, I was so stuck up him to the point where I was losing my own vision. I was losing my own creativity and my own sight. And I don't want to say he took anything away from me, but what I'll say is, it wasn't until after we officially, like after that night, I never really had a goal for myself. Like, I have so many aspirations now that I never had before, because this is the first time really in life where I got to just think of myself. Like, when I was with him, it was always, we were going to get an apartment together, we was going to have 2 dogs, a pit bull and a Great Dane, and we was going to do all these things. I never had the time to really just sit back and say, okay, what about your future? Like, you always imagine a future for him and you, but what about just you? So now, you know, I'm able to focus on myself, and I honestly feel like, you know, once I get to where I am, that's where I will meet someone new. But until then, like, I don't know. But let me just keep telling the story. Let me just keep saying, oh God, I talked forever. So, okay, I really just distracted the whole story, but let's just keep moving. So I didn't say nothing to the side bitch, like, you know, it wasn't nothing I could say. But I knew that next day or so, I think we had to work together. So I obviously, you know, had to talk to him because we're coworkers. Like, I can't just ignore you or whatever, whatever. So I talked to him and I told him, I was like, you know, you had no idea about me, so I'm not really finna be mad at you. But at the same time, know that I'm not too fond of you either, because even though you did nothing to me personally, in the process of me trying to eliminate my ex out my system, that involves anything that reminds me of him. Friends, pictures, videos, blocking him on social networks and stuff. And even you, like, I can't look at you and just pretend to be happy knowing that, you know, you had a piece of what was supposed to be mine. I feel like you guys understand what I'm saying. So that's basically why I left it. And so nonetheless, later on he quit and started working at another store. So, you know, that was just something I never had to deal with again. Now, this is where some mistakes started happening. Recently, he started liking my pictures, and I went on his page, and you know how you, like, the profile picture on, like, kind of pulsates or something when they have a story, then, you know, that's how his thing was looking. So I watched his story, because I don't follow him on Snapchat or anything. So I watched his story, and one of the questions was, it was a vote thing saying, would you date me, yes or no? Now, if you guys are familiar with Instagram, you guys know that they have this voting system up now. And so I pressed yes. But let me tell you why I pressed yes. I did not press yes because I really want to date him. I just pressed yes because I just randomly pressed. I could have pressed no. Like, it really wouldn't have mattered. The reason that I even, like, answered to the poll is because I just want to see, like, what, because it shows you the current results, like, as you press something. So if you press yes, it'll tell you, like, so far 70% said yes, 30% 7, 8, 9, 2. Yeah, 30% said no. So yeah, I pressed yes, and plus on top of that, I didn't even know that Instagram shows you, like, who voted on your stuff. So before even that happened, I was just recklessly voting on people's stuff, just recklessly, because I didn't know Instagram, like, showed you. I thought it just kept everything anonymous. I pressed yes. Next thing you know, like, maybe an hour maybe later, he wrote me and was like, so you would date me? I never opened it, and I was, no, I did open it. I said something about yes and no, and I was like yes and no because I don't know how to, like, break people's heart. I mean, and I don't want to say break their heart, but I don't know how to, like, it's a lot of things I can keep it real with, but, like, when it pertains to love and stuff, I don't know how to be, like, straightforward about that, because I don't want nobody, like, feeling rejected, especially by me, because I have a kind of a out there personality. So if I reject you, then I don't want you trying to hang yourself or feel some type of way. So I said yes but no. Then he was like, what does that mean? I never responded to anything after that. And so it was funny because that very next day I went to the mall, because that same night I dropped my phone in Walmart and shattered my screen out. Like, my screen was blacked out. So the next morning I had to go to the mall early that morning before I went to work to get my screen fixed. And so what happened? So I seen him, and he saw me. Well, we kind of saw each other at the same time. So he saw me and I saw him. He stopped to speak to me and I saw him. And so he was like, you never answered my question. I was like, I didn't know how to answer it. And I legit just walked off. And he was like, it's just a yes or no answer. I legit just walked off because I was like, I'm not finna deal with this. Like, I don't like, No, I walked off. So that was the end of that. My high school homecoming. It was the same day of my high school homecoming, and that was the first weekend. That was October 6th. October 6th. So today is October 30th. I guess, I don't know, but that was October 6th, and so I haven't heard from him. I haven't seen him since then. So the night I posted my last video, okay, what happened before that was I got a call from one of my coworkers who bartends, and usually we try to hang out, so I'm thinking maybe she was just calling. I don't know, maybe she was just calling, I don't know. So I answered the call, and she was like, guess who I'm with? I'm like, bitch, who? She turns the camera on this side bitch, Paris. And I was like, why the fuck would you do that dumb shit? Because I'm pretty sure I told you about this story. Like, she was one of the only few people I'm pretty sure I told this story to. So I'm just like, why the fuck would you show him? Like, why would you? I don't understand that. And so he's on the camera talking about, hey, Ron, what you doing? I was just like, trying to ignore him. I don't know. And so he gives the camera back to her because we were FaceTiming, and she was like, Ron, y'all need to date. And I was like, bitch, what are you talking about? So he gets the phone back from her, and he was like, Ron, I got a question for you. And I was like, what? And he was like, would you date me? And I'm like, I didn't have an answer for him. So in my head, I'm trying to think of every possible excuse as to, like, how do I curve this? So I was like, y'all playing a prank on me. Like, y'all joking on me. Like, y'all pranking me. And she takes the phone and she was like, Ron, I swear to God, I'm drunk as hell, and I don't ever swear to God, but I'm so serious. Y'all need to go on a date. I'm sitting here like, you know my type. You know that I'm not into the girly men. Like, I'm into the more masculine type men. And I mean, like I said, there's no shade, it's just what I like. And so why would you do that? Like, even without knowing the story, you know my type, because we talk about guys like that come in and out the restaurant. So why would you do that? So I'm just on the phone and Bear still steady trying to stall the conversation. And so it got to a point where I was just like, I'm gonna have to call you guys. I'm gonna call you right back. As she had the phone up to her ear, and let's pretend this the phone. So this her trying to hold her phone to the ear, trying to hear me, and I was like, I'm gonna call you back. She like, okay. So she puts the phone like on the table, it looks like, and she tells him, he said he gonna call us back, and he was like, what's his number or something like that, and I hung up. I was like, this bitch want my number. Okay. So I called my coworker, and everything on the phone call is on that last video. You guys can go back and watch it if you guys haven't watched it. But it's on that video before this one of me calling her, breaking the story down, and talking shit like, why the fuck would you do that? In the midst of me calling her, the guy texts me and was like, hey, and I know it's him because ain't nobody else texting me that, like, at 1 in the morning. Ain't nobody else texting me, so that I'm not already talking to it at that. So the guy texts me saying, hey, and then the girl who called me that I work with, she texts me like in the middle of that conversation too with some laughing emojis, and I'm just sitting here like, bitch. So you sending me laughing emojis signifies that you know what the fuck you was doing. I don't care what nobody say. She lost cool points for that because now I'm in some deep shit about like this side. And nonetheless, if I did want you for real, don't you think I would have like hopped on you the moment like you slid in my DM asking me you know, about us being together, whatever. Don't you think I would have like been on you from that very moment? It's been almost a month since that whole predicament happened. Like, why are you still pressed? So I mean, I would have caught the clue like maybe he don't want me, or else he would have been on me like hot rocks. So after that night, I didn't hear from him. I didn't text him back. I text the girl who gave him the phone. I was like, bitch, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm gonna do that. I ain't seen her yet, but I'm gonna whoop her ass. I'm just trying to figure this out though, and you guys can try to help me figure it out. Why would you want, what would make you think I would want you if you was just dealing with my ex? Like, you were the reason me and my ex are like done. And even though a part of me feels bad about cutting my ex off, like, okay, even though we weren't together at the time, at the same time, I guess I still just felt betrayed because I was like, the way you checking for these other bitches, you want to check for me, and I'm like, I'm supposed to be your #1 fan, like whatever. Bye. So I don't feel bad about cutting him off no more. But nonetheless, what makes you think that I would want you if you were the very reason why me and my ex are like done? Like I don't even try to keep hope no more. Like I don't even envision a life with us together anymore because after that situation, I'm done. Like I don't know how many times I gotta say done to get you guys to understand that. But what would make you think that I would want you after that whole situation? If that was the case, me and you and my ex might as well have just became a threesome couple. And plus on top of that, this bitch ain't even all that cute. Like I don't know why dudes be doing me dirty over like ugly ass people. At least break my heart over like some bitch who look bomb as hell. At least let me be able to say, yeah, I would have cheated on myself too. If I was fucking with that, I would cheat on myself too. But the niggas don't even do that. They cheat on you with some lesser grade hoes. Like, bitch, you got a grade A organic egg right here, but you want to get this double processed sick as hell chicken egg over here, but still want grade A like relationship. Baby, it don't work like that. But anywho, I don't got shit else to say. So yeah, that was the story. Hopefully everything was thoroughly explained. My camera say 30 minutes long, so hopefully you guys aren't pissed that this damn video is so fucking long. But nonetheless, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on my Instagram, on my YouTube channel. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram and Snapchat at RonVugata, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Like, bitches is dumb because I'm just like, what would make you think I would want you if you was just with my, like, I don't understand that, y'all. I don't get that. I don't get it for real. Help me understand.